Biggest lessons and hacks that I've learned in my life is that you got to understand the details and the nuances of anything that you're going to do in life, and especially in business. You got to understand what those are, because if you don't, then you're not going to properly know how to leverage it. So if you don't understand what marketing is, if you don't understand what advertising is, and you think you haven't understand, you kind of heard it before, it's just always been around since you've been in business, but you never really understood the purpose of each. How are you best going to utilize it and best leverage it? And those are the people who just are doing things, but they don't really know what they're doing in a way that's going to allow them to get to a different result. And if you want to get a different result, you have to leverage both. There's a reason why these are two different terms, and there's a reason why, you know, each and every one of them has its place inside a business. But which one is really better? Which one should you use? Do you need both of them? Do you not need both of them? And you really got to understand that, or you're always going to be in a cycle where even if you have the best product in the world, nobody's going to know about it. Nobody's going to have it. And even if you're missing one or two of them, is it going to impact you? Actually, it is. So that's what we're going to talk about today. All right. So I'm excited. Hope you're excited. Go ahead and put excited below. Today, we're going to be talking about advertising and marketing, advertising versus marketing. Which one is better? What's the differences? How do they work together? And I'm excited to share this with you, because this is something that once you really understand the purpose of each, you're going to be like, oh, this makes so much sense. I see why certain people are successful. I see why certain people get results. I see why certain people are doing better in business than others. But you would never know that unless you know what both are. So this is what we're going to do on today's Recharging Your Business session. So I'm going to tell you the differences of both, and I'm going to tell you how to leverage both of them. Then stick around, because I'm going to give you some resources that's going to allow you to be able to level up your marketing and your advertising. And then we're going to answer any questions at the end if we have any. All right. So I hope you're excited about today. And let's get into it. So it had me thinking about this recently, because, you know, I have people who they'll use the term interchangeably. And as I'm listening to people, and I was hearing somebody talk about this on a podcast the other day, and as I'm listening to people, I'm also listening to see if they really understand the terminology and the differences, because if you don't really know, then you're basically just doing things, but you don't know the purpose of whichever one you're doing. And it didn't really sound quite accurate. It sounded like it was kind of all over the place, and I don't really think that people know the difference between the two. So this is an important thing for us to be able to take our business to the next level. So why are both of these important? Ultimately, we're both marketing and advertising is both designed to be able to allow more, to give your product and your services more exposure, or whatever you want people to know about. It's about giving them more exposure. But the nuances between both gives you the ultimate advantage in business to be able to generate more revenue, get more clients, sell more products, etc. So you want to be able to leverage both of them correctly. So what does it look like in terms of the difference? So first, when you're looking at marketing is more of a encompassing, is more of a comprehensive strategy to be able to attract your ideal client. When I say more comprehensive, I mean, when I say strategy is, okay, well, what does the customer journey look like from start to finish? You're looking at, well, what does the pricing look like? You're looking at, well, what are all the different touch points that a potential client or potential customer is going to encounter when facing our brand? You feel what I'm saying? So when I'm saying more comprehensive and more encompassing, when you're thinking about a marketing strategy, you got to think about all of that. And I'm going to break this down into specific examples, especially in the online space, right? Since that's the space a lot of us are in, right? You're selling products and services online. So I'm going to share what that looks like. But think about it as more encompassing. Think about it as more like strategic in terms of overall general client attraction from different vantage points, right? And like I said, I'm gonna get into more detail. That's more what the marketing strategy is. When you're looking at advertising and our advertising strategy, we're looking at paid channels. So advertising is usually paid, right? And you're looking at, okay, well, how do I run this advertising in a specific way to a specific group to persuade them to take a specific action? And that's really what it is. So when you think about how both of them play into each other, advertising is really part of your marketing strategy. So when you think about both, advertising is one of the ways that you're going to market your business. But you have other ways to market your business outside of paid advertising, which we're going to talk about. Does that make sense? Both of them is designed to attract your client. Both of them is designed to make you money. But you're typically going to have, you can typically when you're advertising, that's part of your marketing strategy, but you can market without necessarily having paid advertising. Follow what I'm saying? So, but it's our job that if you want to optimize your business to the best way that you can, or that you want to optimize it, you have to have both, and you really got to be smart and strategic about how you deploy both of them to get the maximum amount of returns or results in your business. Does that make sense? So that's what so that's the key differences. So what does that really look like? What does that look like in terms of like how you apply it in our business? So I'll give you an example. What I've learned, right, I've been blessed enough that I'm around some of the smartest minds, some of the smartest influencers, multiple 6, 7, 8, 9-figure earners. Just last year, I was talking to somebody making over 100 million, right? So I'm gonna tell you what I've learned. What I've learned is that they're very strategic and smart about how they do the marketing, and then how the advertising fits into the marketing, and how to make it all work cohesively in order to get the highest amount of return. So in our space, let's say online, right? So this is what it looks like, right? So we're teaching, right? Well, I guess one of my niches, right? But let's say you have a service-based business. So you have a service-based business. Well, what is the marketing strategy and what is the advertising strategy? So the marketing strategy would be, okay, we want to attract this certain demographic of audience. We want to attract these people for what? What is the purpose? Well, we're marketing because, we want more people to be interested and buy this particular service or any particular service. Okay, perfect. What is the price point going to look like? What is the customer? Okay, the price point is going to be this. We're going to sell it for $2,000. Okay, what is the customer journey going to look like? Okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to run paid advertising. We're going to put out organic content. We're going to, we're going to get some people who are going to come in through advertising, but some people may not necessarily be ready or able or willing to sign up right now through the paid advertising. So what we're going to do is we're going to do email marketing to them. We're going to do organic content marketing to them. They're going to be able to see us online. We may do some influencer marketing. We're going to be doing some webinars. So that's also going to be some content marketing. So we're going to do that, and we're going to do it in a way to where at some point our goal is to be able to, convert the folks who don't come in immediately through the advertising, through the back end, through one of our events, through one of our, online events, or maybe through like email marketing, etc. You feel what I'm saying? It's like paid advertising is a piece of it, but your overall marketing strategy is like overall how you're going to attract people. And a lot of times, if you don't think about both of them, then you're not going to win. Because what advertising says, okay, well, what are we going to use to advertise? What paid channels are we going to use to advertise? Okay, well, what do we need to do to be successful in advertising? Okay, well, who do we need to target? What do we need to offer? Okay, what is the benefits need to say? Okay, what is the where are we sending the people? What kind of images? What kind of copy? You feel what I'm saying? It's like, and that's just if you're using social media marketing, which is what we focus on in our agency. But you have to put that level of thought and that level of detail into any paid advertising channel you go into, or any paid. I don't care if you was looking at TV advertising. It's okay. Well, how long does the advertising need to be? Okay, what type of advertising? Okay, if you're doing a Super Bowl commercial, you gotta think through the strategy for a Super Bowl commercial. You feel what I'm saying? If you're advertising banner ads, okay, well, you got to think about what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? If you're using influencer marketing, or if you're advertising through somebody else's page or whatever, you got to think about what that looks like. Or you're advertising on somebody's podcast, you got to think about what that looks like. And so the advertising is the specific way that you're going to persuade people to take a specific action that you want them to take on a specific channel. And most of the time, that's paid, right? You're going to spend money to be able to do that. But that's always going to be a part of your marketing strategy, right? So you got to think about both. So, okay, so what happens if Okay, I get what you're saying, Terrell. I got you. I feel you. But what happens if you don't do one of the two? What does that look like? How could that really impact your business? Okay, so let's look at it. So let's say you say, all right, I'm going to market my business, but you ignore the paid advertising, right? And by the way, the world's most successful businesses, they play with advertising in some way, some form of fashion. So, but let's say you ignore it, right? Then what's going to happen is you'll come up with a marketing strategy, and you'll try to push the marketing strategy, but the challenge is you'll be limited in your reach, and a lot of times it's unpredictable, because like, let's say if you're trying to get clients through word of mouth, or you're trying to get clients through organic growth, or you're trying to get clients through webinars, or any kind of other means of transforming somebody from and this is the big piece of it, why you need advertising, is because a lot of times when you're doing things organically, you cannot control the outcome. Meaning it's not as predictable. If I'm expecting people to be attracted to my products and services or my offers through organic posting. Now, I might have a dope post. I might have a post that went viral. I might have a post that just hit. You know what I'm saying? I just did a great job with the post. And now I'm like, okay, oh wow, look, I got 5 clients off this post, right? Or maybe you're doing a launch. Yo, I got X amount of clients off this launch, or during this time period. It might be a special time of the year. It's so many different things, but we have a bias that we think, oh, because it worked once, it's going to continue to work. But when you're doing things organically, you can't. There's no predictability factor in it, right? If you're posting, you think you're going to get 5 clients off of every post. How realistic is that? You don't know. It could have been a lucky post. It could have just been happened to be that post that hit. Even if you made another post just like it, the fact that you already created a post like that is not going to get the same amount of engagement. You feel what I'm saying? If you trying to get consistent clients through word of mouth, and that is your main source of revenue or income, getting this through word of mouth, then guess what? You can't control when somebody talks about your services or not, what they say, or how they say it. Sometimes you can try to help people to train them to do it, but the predictability factor of it. So if you say, Coach T, I want to make 20 grand a month, and you're doing it through word of mouth, and you're in a place where you're trying to generate that revenue, well, you can't really predict that, because it's relying on somebody else to generate you business. Is that what I'm saying? And so that's a whole different situation. Or if you're trying to generate clients, let's say through webinars consistently, but you're not running paid advertisements, then what you're doing is you're getting different amounts of people on your webinar each week. So if you say, well, I want to make 20 grand a month. So that breaks down to $5,000 a week. And you said, I'm gonna run this webinar play, and my goal is I want to make $5,000 a webinar. The challenge with that, if you're just doing it organically, is that so it's called the law of probabilities, right? Is that there's a certain amount, especially in the webinar game specifically, right? There's a certain amount of people, no matter how good you are, there's a certain amount of people that need to be on that webinar in order for you to get a certain amount of sales. A lot of the times, the challenge be it's hard for you to get that consistent amount. I mean, I know some of the world's best people who do webinars, and they really know how to do a good job converting. And those people literally, their goal is to get anywhere between 1,000 to 5,000 people on any given webinar, right? And these are people who are great. They probably could get 20 people on a webinar and potentially make sales. But the problem is, when you have a goal and when you're trying to use that as your only form or your only source of revenue, especially when you're not introducing the paid advertising side of it, there's no predictability. So a lot of times when you're doing things organically and you're doing organic marketing efforts, there's no predictability to it. So if you're doing content marketing, you're doing some of these other forms, now you'll have good hits, and you see people who have good launches, but the predictability factor of it is a lot harder when you're not doing paid advertising. That make sense? So that's why you want to have paid advertising. On the other hand, paid advertising is phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Paid advertising is great. If we have clients right now who's spending, $10, $20, $30 a day, whatever a day, right? $100 a day. And they'll and they put in X amount of dollars, and we can expect X amount of leads. That's phenomenal, right? It's like, yo, I can spend X amount of dollars. Like I had like we had one of our guys, shout out to Coach Darryl. He got 70. Actually, was it Darryl? I think it was, no, it was shout out to Glassstein. He had 76 leads in his first 6 days of running ads. Right, my guy Darryl had about close to 40 leads his first week running ads. Joy got, and these are all clients that came through our agency. Like came through, was like, yo, I'm not really getting any leads consistently like that. Can I work with the agency to start running ads? We started running ads, and these are all people who started getting dozens and dozens and dozens of leads. Their first week of us setting it up, we running it. First week getting dozens of leads, right? So that's phenomenal, because now, and Joy, she got a 200. She had she got a 10x ROI or 1,000% ROI her first week. So this is phenomenal, right? We know that this is phenomenal because now you get X amount of leads, and you know that if you get 100 leads in a week, you can probably turn those 100 leads into 10 appointments, and 10 appointments into, let's say 1 or 2 sales. That's phenomenal, because what does that create? That creates predictability. Right? So that's great. But what's the challenge though? What if you just do advertising, but you're not really thinking about the marketing? Well, this is the challenge that you're going to face. Is that it's going to take longer for you to grow and scale. What do you mean? Because let's just say your percentage is 1 out of every 10 leads you convert into a paying client, or 1 out of every 10 consultation or strategy calls you convert into a paying client. So that's great. That's phenomenal, right? Let's just keep math simple. So let's just say you had $1,000 service. So if you had a $1,000 service, and let's say $2,000, that's high ticket, right? So let's just say you had a $2,000 service. Now, cool. I'm making now, because I have this clicking, I'm making $2,000 a week. Phenomenal. But you could really be making $6,000 a week. Growth and scale. What do you mean? How? Because you haven't thought about or strategized the overall marketing strategy. So because you haven't done that, you'll still grow, and it'll still be predictable, but it wouldn't grow as fast as it could, because you're not deploying the other marketing strategies. That's where content marketing comes into play, because now people who, if they come in through an ad, they might not necessarily be ready that day. I'm sure we've all clicked on ads, or we've had conversations with certain people who own services, and we didn't necessarily come in that day. But what if they started following you on social media? Maybe they weren't ready today, but maybe they're ready in 3 weeks. Maybe they're ready in 3 months. I got one of our clients who literally is actually one of my fraternity bros. It's been like 3 years, right? It's been like 3 years. We worked together for a little bit during the pandemic. Some situations came up, so we had to pause it then, and he just now got back on board, and we're on track, and we working on things, right? So, but imagine if I stopped releasing content. Imagine if I wasn't thinking about the people who came into my world or my community, and I stopped serving them and I stopped giving them. Imagine if I didn't have a group. Imagine if we didn't do follow-ups. You feel what I'm saying? All this is part of the overall marketing strategy. Imagine if you came part of my community, you came a part of my email list, and I never sent you anything via email. So you never got additional content. You never watched my YouTube videos on my YouTube channels. You never joined my webinars. You never showed up to my live events. You feel what I'm saying? Is that, so you got to realize that the advertising is going to bring people in, and you'll convert a certain percentage of people into paying clients consistently. But if you want to grow and scale faster, you need the overall marketing strategy. You need the email campaigns. You need the content marketing. That's where influencer marketing comes into play. That, like, a lot of the other channels is like, when you add the advertising and you add the marketing together, you to the moon. And I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that at first. I started with the marketing first, wasn't really doing that well. Then I went to the advertising, but then I realized, like, oh, this is a strategy that needs to play hand in hand. These need to play, because I'm like, yo, I got one person who really saw the value and they wanted to work with me, but I'm like, hold on. But what about the other 9 people? What about them? Like they signed up for a reason, but for whatever reason they just weren't ready, or it wasn't the right time, or whatever it is. So do we give up on those people? Do we say forget about them? Do we say they're not serious? No, it ain't like that. It's the nature of business, and it's the nature that you're going to have some people that are ready to do business with you right now, and you're going to have some people that's going to be ready in the near future, and just some people, they just haven't felt enough pain. That's it. Or it's going to take them longer because of something that's in their life. It happens, right? Depending on what you do. Let's say if you're a fitness trainer, some people just need to gain another 100 pounds. It is what it is. You know, if it's business, you know what? Some people could say, oh, I don't like the way this direction is going, and they'll sign up with you right now. And there's other people, they need to go bankrupt. There's other people that they need to lose everything. There's other people that they got to be in the worst possible position. Their job is about to fire them. They're about to lose their income. It got to be Armageddon. You know what I'm saying? Armageddon is what's going to make them say, you know what, I should probably do something different. I should probably get a coach. I should probably get some help with this. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, go ahead and put make sense below. Let me know that this is helpful to you, right? So that's what we're talking about. So in order to be great at what we do in running businesses, you gotta make sure that you have your marketing strategy, and you gotta make sure that you have your advertising strategy. You gotta have both of them. The advertising will make you money predictably, but to grow and scale, you want to think about the overall marketing efforts, because truth be told, the majority of people that you attract through your advertising will not become clients. And that's okay. That's okay. You don't need everybody to be clients to generate the revenue that you want. You don't need it. You need a certain percentage. There's a certain percentage of people that want to take it seriously or that's ready. Those are the people that you help. But everybody else, you don't forget about them. You don't say to hell with them. You continue to provide value. You continue to nurture. You continue to reach out. You continue to text. You continue to post on all your social media channels. You continue to send them emails. You continue to invite them out to events. Okay, you're not ready for the coaching program. You're not ready for this service. Okay, why don't you sign up for the digital course? Why don't you sign up for the masterclass? Why don't you sign up for the book? Why don't you get the ebook? You feel what I'm saying? There's different ways that you can continue to inch people closer and closer to achieving their dream. But if you don't think about all of that, then you're literally, you're chasing your own tail. You're doing things, but it's either going to be slow or either way. If you choose one of them and you don't do the other, it's going to be slow. Either way, right? But if you don't do the advertising, it's going to be unpredictable. But if you just do the advertising, you're just going to have slower growth than what you normally could have. All right? Because I can tell you this, that every week we have people who, if they don't come in through the advertising, it's people who literally my team is following up with, or I'm following up with, or there's people that they've been following me for 2 years, but it just so happens to be a post that I did, or just so happens to be a training or video that I did that just made them hit it just hit in a different way. That made them say, you know what? Let me start playing with this. Like, I've been playing with this long enough. Let me take this serious. And it's just different timing for different people. So you need to have both. Make sense? All right. So hopefully y'all loving this. Hopefully this makes a lot of sense, and that you're able to take this to the next level. So, and this is the stuff that gets me excited, because these are the things that I didn't know at first. You know what I mean? And we all put in so much time, energy, effort into all of this that if we like get a return from it, learn from it. And that's why we do these recharging your business sessions, is because I want to overall just focus on different topics that help you build and grow your business. And it doesn't have to be as complicated as it sounds, as it seems to be, but it's things that we just need to know, because sometimes it's just certain things that we don't know what we don't know. And if you don't know what you don't know, and you out here just trying to do anything, you'll get very frustrated trying to build something, but you don't have all of the information that you need to make decisions to make progress. So that's what we're doing. I'm giving you the information and the training and the content you need to help you make better decisions in business. And that's why we do these recharge your business sessions every day. All right, make sense? Hope you love it. All right, cool. So let me give you a couple of resources real quick. Number one, if you want to, we have a master class that's coming out I have a digital marketing masterclass or digital advertising masterclass. It's called the Playbook to Paid Ads. This will be released in a few days. So what I want you to do is, if you want access to that, go ahead and put ads masterclass in the comments. Ads masterclass in the comments. We will be charging money for this course in the future. However, if you get on the waiting list now, you will get access to it 100% free when we release it, because we're going to put you on the waiting list. All right, so if you want to join the waiting list, go ahead and put ads masterclass now. As soon as we release it, we will get you access to that. Myself and my team will get you access to that course. If you're in a place right now, if you're like, yo, I get it, I need more eyes on my stuff, I need my marketing, and I need my advertising strategy, then what you can do is go ahead and put Facebook ads in the comments below, and what I'm going to do, or shoot me a DM, and what I'm going to do is I'll put you on my calendar, and we can talk about your marketing, your ad strategy. Right? We're going to talk about it, and I'll show you what it looks like for our agency to run your ads. But when we run your ads, you also consider the client of mine. So when we talk about the overall marketing strategy, I'm going to help you with that as well too. All right. So let's continue to be great. All right. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop your questions in the building. Go ahead and drop your questions. Good to see y'all, man. Y'all outside. All right. And by the way, give this some love. Like if you feeling this, and by the way, share this out. You know what I mean? A lot of times we get knowledge and we get information, but we don't share it out. We don't share it with people. Like, don't hoard this information. I put this out publicly for a reason. If I just wanted this for a small select few people, it would only be for that group of people, right? And I do private trainings for paid clients. I do private trainings. I have groups. I have private Facebook groups where I only release certain content, certain exclusive content to that group. But even here, I make this public because I want everybody who's not part of one of my programs or in one of our communities to still learn. So there's no fee for this. There's no fee. I ain't gonna tell you to cash at me at the end of this. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no fee. But the only payment I ask of you is to share it. That's the only thing I pay. That's the only thing I want you to pay, is pay a little bit of your time to just hit the share button and send this out to more people, so we can get more entrepreneurs successful in their business. I want more people, or everybody in business, but I want our people to be more knowledge savvy in business. And so please share this out to your own people. All right. With that being said, let me leave you with this. If we don't have any questions, focus on remember, there's a few different phases, right, of making your business successful. You have creating the product or service, and you have getting more eyeballs on it. You want to get more people to pay attention to what you have. So you gotta take the time out your day. Don't be too busy to think through, how am I going to market this and how I'm going to advertise this. If you don't know, that's where you hire coaches. That's why you join programs. That's why you join communities. That's why, there's free content online that at least give you a starting point. Yeah, you may not know all of the details and all the step-by-step. That gives you a starting point. If you got the money to invest like me, I just spent the money to get people to just get the exact blueprint. I didn't want to guess. Because sometimes, when you research free information online, it's like, wait, this person said this person said that, and then it's all confusing and you don't know what to do, and then you're frozen in time. You don't do anything. And then I have a conversation with you 6 months or a year later and you're in the same spot. You feel what I'm saying? So don't get frozen in time. Like, just move forward, gain some momentum, and learn as you go away. Yeah, you're gonna trip as you running forward. You're gonna trip a couple times, but you'll trip less if you have some type of guidance. Get some help, get some training, you know what I mean? Like, book the call, whatever you need to do, like, just continue to move forward. And that's the only thing that I've been doing since I've been in business, right? That's it. I just been getting in, I've been getting my hands dirty. I wasn't afraid to invest. I'm not afraid to pay, to learn from other people's experiences, so I can be able to help more people and generate revenue at a higher rate. And that's what it comes down to, you know what I mean? But you can't be afraid to take that step. All right. And if you want advertising, you gotta put your money where your mouth is. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you're new and you don't already have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of followers, how are you going to get known? The algorithms is not here to help make your business profitable and successful. The algorithms on these social media platforms are literally here just to get the most viral and the most entertaining content. That's what they share. They're not saying, oh, wow, this is a great video from you, and this is very educational, and it really teaches people about. The logarithm ain't looking for all of that. The logarithm is looking for what are the most people liking and commenting and watching. Most of the time, that's entertainment content. That's not educational content. So like content like this will never go viral because it's entertainment is what the majority of the world is gravitate towards. You know what I'm saying? But however, we know that and we understand it. So I'm saying all of that because the algorithm on these social media platforms is not there to help you build your business. It's there to share clips that's why a lot of times it's negative clips or it's highly emotional clips, right? And if you notice, a lot of the things that go viral, it ain't like educational type content. It ain't training type of content. Look at it. Look at all the things that go viral. Dances, music, fights, like random stuff like that, right? So, comedy, more entertainment stuff. So you can't rely on just the algorithm to think that they're going to spread the word about your business and you're going to be successful. Especially when you just starting, you're going to have to leverage something that's going to push your message out so more people can see it. You can get more visibility. You can get more exposure. And if you got a job, you got somebody who's funding it for you. You just allocating the dollars in the wrong place. You need to allocate the dollars, and you need to take those dollars and you need to put it into a vehicle, a mechanism that's going to spread your word and get you attention for what you have, your offer. All right. So hopefully this helped. All right. I appreciate you all. Continue to be great. Talk to you soon. Let's work.